Welcome to Change Sparks and welcome to this monthly video. In today's video, what we're going to do is unpack a single word. Now this word is something that we've used many times. I know I've used it a lot, and I guarantee you've probably said this word before. Not only are we going to reveal what this word is, but we're going to unpack this word. And then after we unpack this word, we're going to talk about 3 ingredients that will make this word really stick, or 3 ingredients that really propel us in direction of growth and change that we want to make in our lives. All right, so let's get right to it. I only have 10 minutes to do this thing, so we're going to unpack it quick. The word is motivation. Motivation. We've all used this word. We've all said we're motivated to do something, or we're not motivated to do something else, right? We've said stuff like that before, but do we really know what motivation is? Right? What is motivation? Well, I want to take kind of a textbook definition of what motivation is, and I've written it down for us so I can make sure I'm staying on point here. Motivation is, and then we're going to unpack it. Motivation, as we are going to define it, is anything which instigates one to engage in a particular behavior to satisfy a specific internal state. I'll give you a second to read what this definition is. So let's break down this definition, because it definitely is a textbook definition here. So let's break down. There's 2 really kind of key phrases in there that I want to make sure we unpack to understand what motivation really is. And the first key phrase, or the piece of the phrase I want to talk about, is this idea of instigate. Instigate, right? Because motivation is anything which instigates. When we think about instigate is really talking about putting something into action, provoking action. So when we think about motivation, what I want us to now to start to think about whenever we use that word is it's something that is provoking an action, something that is instigating a particular action. Now there's a second part of that phrase of motivation, or definition of motivation, that might be even more important. And that is that idea of an internal state. Remember that part, an internal state? Well, an internal state is a specific internal need, desire, want, or goal. Need, desire, want, or goal. That's what an internal state is. So if we zoom out again to our definition, what we're really saying is motivation is anything, any type of provoked action that leads to satisfying a need, want, desire, goal. That's what motivation really is. So when you think about motivation in a larger context, we're all motivated all the time to do things. Whenever we're behaving in a certain way, it's because there's a motivating factor there. We've been motivated to act in that way. We've been motivated to seek pleasure of that internal state, or we've been motivated to stop some kind of pain, and our actions are motivating us to do that because we want to satisfy that internal state of pleasure or that internal state of pain, and we do that through a need, want, desire, goal, right? So that's our definition. If you were to take the root of motivation and break it down, it actually comes from a Latin word for movement. And I like that because that's what motivation really is. It's movement toward a desired state. And that's what we're going to talk about. So what are 3 things, 3 key ingredients to get ourselves motivated to make those changes, to get ourselves motivated to move in that direction? Or how can we help others be motivated also, right? So that's what I'm going to share with you 3 ingredients for motivation. The first ingredient for motivation is a need. A need. We have to have a need to change. Years ago, I used to do a lot of counseling with families, and I counseled a lot of families who they were on the cusp of having their children taken away from them because of particular habits that they had with substances or alcohol or those types of things. At that moment, their behaviors had a desire for change because there was a strong need now. So when I'm trying to influence others to change, or even influence myself to change, what I want to do is take any ideas that I have, any desires or wishes or wants, and I need to pull them down into this area of a need. Because you see, a need influences different behaviors from us, right? A need influences different actions from us. A need influences different directions that we'll eventually take. It influences the intensity of our behavior. If it's just a want, if it's just a desire, right, we don't act in that same intensity. We don't act with that same drive. But if it is a need, everything changes, right? The game changes when we take it from a preference to a need. So that's ingredient number one. If you want to make a change, don't leave it out in this preference land. Don't leave it out in this wish or want to land. Pull it in and say, this is a need because, and start to build that support around what that need is. That's ingredient number one. Ingredient number two, belief. Belief, right? In another video, I'm going to unpack what beliefs are, how do we create beliefs, how do we know if it's a limiting belief or an effective belief, how are beliefs sustained. We're going to talk about all that in another video. So for today's purpose, though, I want us to really focus on an idea of the self-efficacy belief. And you may have heard me talk about this before, this idea of self-efficacy. It was really brought about by a psychologist, Albert Bandura. So if you're interested in this stuff of self-efficacy beliefs, Google Albert Bandura, not right now, wait till the video's over, but Google him and you'll find more information on self-efficacy beliefs. But what this belief is it's a belief a person has in his or her ability to carry out and succeed at a task. That's what self-efficacy beliefs are. Can I carry out and succeed at this particular task? Our actions are rooted, our motivated actions are rooted in this belief of, can I be successful with this? If we don't think we can, we've just sabotaged ourselves, and you're right, we can't, or I can't, or you can't. So this self-efficacy belief, this belief that I can, is a huge belief when we're talking about getting ourselves motivated, making those changes, moving in that direction towards that life that we desire. Ingredient number one was need. Ingredient number two, belief. We have to believe that we can. Ingredient number three, spark. A spark. We need something that sparks us to move. A few weeks ago, I was in Colorado with my family, and we were visiting other family. We were doing a campfire, and the kids would stoke the campfire and cook marshmallows, but every once in a while, some sparks would come out of the fire, and they'd land on the ground, and we'd go step them out and move on with the rest of our campfire. But I started to think, what if we didn't step out one spark? That maybe spark would maybe turn into a flame. That flame maybe would grow into a larger fire. That larger fire would start to grow into a huge forest fire, and on it goes, right? That's what a spark is for us when we're talking about motivation. It's that thing that starts the blaze to grow. Now, a lot of times that spark is internal, right? It's that there's an internal spark, and that internal spark would be, I want to move in this direction because it might bring me pleasure that I'm really seeking. That internal spark might be, I want to move in this direction because this is important to me now. This is, for some reason, I'm aware of this now, and it's now important to me, and I want to do something about it. Or that internal spark might be, you know what? This has become significant for me to take action now, right? That's internal sparks. What we're probably more used to, though, is an external spark, an extrinsic spark. It's that thing that compels us to take action because of factors that are happening around us. That happens all the time. So think about this. A lot of times when you're wanting to make changes, say for instance in your health, you want to exercise more, you want to eat healthy, usually what's coming before that is, or what's influencing that change all of a sudden, is there's an event coming up. Maybe you're in a wedding, not even the bride or the groom, but you're maybe part of the party. You start to get healthy. I want to exercise, I want to eat good, I want to look good in this wedding. People do that a lot. When New Year's comes, right? That's an event. A lot of people start to make that resolution or that goal to lose weight, to look good, to be fit. It's because that's an extrinsic spark, an external spark that says, hey, now's a good time to start this. It's that push, it's that thrust. Every day when you're at work and you're doing reports and turning things in, it's because there's external sparks all around you. The boss needs the paper. Other people are waiting for your report so they can do their stuff. Those are extrinsic sparks. So sparks are all around us. All we have to do is find that spark, either intrinsic or extrinsic, internal or external, that creates that impetus for movement, that thing that gives you that shove to get you rolling down the path of change. That's ingredient number 3. So really those are the 3 ingredients to change, or 3 ingredients to motivation: a need, a belief, and a spark. If you have those 3 ingredients, motivation is there. And you can make the changes, you can grow in the areas that you want to grow in. And that is exciting. If these 3 areas, need, belief, and spark, are something that you're working on and you want to talk to me about it, you want to maybe run some things past me, you want to maybe build that belief that you can, because that's going to be a kicker, believe that you can, chat with me. Go to changesparks.com and leave me a message there, and I'll respond back to you. Send me a private message, chat with me on the Facebook page, whatever it is. I want to help you make that change that you want to make. I want to help you be as successful in change as you want to be. So meet me there. I appreciate it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this time. I hope this information was valuable. If you found it valuable, please share it with friends and family. Let others know this secret of motivation and these 3 key ingredients to motivation. This has been a Change Sparks production, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you next month when we unpack a whole different concept.